Hi everyone, I'm Pirie Ruther. You're about to meet one of the most powerful women in Hollywood. Sherry Lansing is the chair and CEO of Paramount Pictures. She's about to share a fascinating story about how she overcame the pitfalls of rising to the top.
I loved movies, and I always wanted to be in the movie business. I sort of just put one foot in front of the other.
Now there's no question Sherry Lansing's finger is on the pulse of Hollywood. Under her watch have come some of Hollywood's hottest films, including Academy Award-winning Titanic, Braveheart, and Forrest Gump.
I didn't have any role models, you know. I just got to do what I thought was the right thing to do.
And in an industry that traditionally holds a glass ceiling for women, Sherry Lansing has proven that being a powerhouse producer isn't just for men anymore.
I didn't think that it was an all-boys club or an unfair world. I just sort of wanted to do the work that I was doing. And I guess I was too blind to the obstacles. And in many ways, that was good.
And you started as an actress when you first came to Hollywood.
I did, and a very bad actress.
Now, I have some movies in case you want to pull them back.
Please don't ever run those movies.
Rio Lobo.
Rio Lobo
Howard
with John
Hostel.
Wayne, yeah.
Right.
It's a good film. I was just very bad in it.
Now, why did you change careers?
I was incredibly uncomfortable as an actress. I think I have the greatest respect for actors and actresses because they have the ability to transform themselves and to become somebody other than themselves. I never had that ability. I was always uncomfortable if I wasn't 100% myself. So when I started acting, it was something that made me very nervous. My legs used to shake. But the good news was, when I went on a movie set, I saw all those people that were making movies. And I said, I want to be part of that. I want to make movies. How do you go about doing such a thing?
Who've been your mentors?
I guess the two biggest idols I ever had in my life are two people that I didn't know. One was Martin Luther King, a man who I never had the opportunity to meet, but who inspired me and who continues to inspire me. And the other idol I had was a woman named Margaret Mead, who was an anthropologist. I loved the freedom that she represented. I loved the fact that she studied other cultures. And I thought she was a brave woman. And when I was younger, I used to take trips and take a month off every year and live with another culture. And I guess all of that was inspired by Margaret Mead.
Have you ever had a bad day? Have you ever just...
Many times. I mean, there's many days that, you know, the alarm goes off and I just want to pull the covers over my face and not get out of bed. I cry, I'm depressed, like anybody else in the whole world.
And how do you overcome that?
Well, you know, I think I've always felt, you know, is the glass half empty, is the glass half full, and I've always felt that it was half full. You know, I guess it's all about a matter of balance in life, you know. You want to pull the covers over your head, but on the other hand, you don't have cancer, you know, and at least I don't. And you have wonderful friends, and the setbacks that you encounter in life are really so small compared to what real serious problems are.
Well, you're talking about balance in life. You're married and you have a family and obviously a very successful professional life as well. How do you balance the personal and the professional life?
I think it's something that you always have to be aware of. And you have to decide what's really important to you. And the most important thing to me is my family. So you always have to remember that that's the most important. And you always have to be sure that you don't take that for granted and that you don't neglect it and that you spend enough time with your husband and your children and your friends. And that as much as you love work, and I do love my work, that it has to be second.
What piece of advice would you give women today who are struggling with their lives that maybe has helped you?
I think that the biggest piece of advice I would give somebody is to enjoy the process of what you're doing. When I was story editor, which was my first job, I thought it was the best job in the whole world, and I thought I would do nothing else but be story editor. I didn't dream that someday I would be running a company. It wasn't even in my vocabulary. Then I was the head of the story editors. Then I was, you know, a vice president, whatever. Just enjoy the process. If if I've learned anything in life, and I am in the middle age of my life, if I've learned anything, I've learned that you really only have the moments, and you don't know what's around the corner, and you don't know when misfortune is going to strike you, and you don't know when bad health is going to strike you. And all the little things that we worry about are so unimportant. I would just say enjoy the process of your work, enjoy every day, and be sure that you have somebody that you love and value that, because that's the most important thing in the whole world.
Hi, everyone. I'm Pirie. I'm in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where I'm going to introduce you to a truly remarkable woman. Dr. Maya Angelou is an unprecedented Renaissance woman who is recognized as one of our greatest voices in literature. As poet, educator, historian, actress, civil rights activist, director, and mother, she travels the world spreading her legendary wisdom.
Many people wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size.
The poem is from her book, Phenomenal Woman. It was written to honor and to inspire every woman.
It's in the joy of my feet. It's in the arch of my back. That's why each of us is a phenomenal woman.
How can we impart that message that every woman could be a phenomenal woman?
Well, every woman is a phenomenal woman. Sometimes she doesn't know it, doesn't stretch herself, doesn't count on herself. So my encouragement is to go inside first and realize what you know and what you've come through.
Maya Angelou has taken what she knows and what she's come through and written nearly 20 books. She also brings her wisdom and insight to the silver screen, not as a writer, but as a director with Down in the Delta, starring Wesley Snipes and Alfre Woodard. It's an emotional story of a woman's journey to find herself.
Let me ask you something, Loretta. You ever work hard all your life for something, and then when you finally get it, you
No, I haven't. And no, I have not gotten it.
Why was it so important for you to do this story?
It's a human story. It could be told at Canton, Ohio, or Canton, China. If you were really aware of the culture of the people who feature in the story, then you could tell the story anywhere where human beings are. Because these are the sort of conundrums, puzzles, enigma that people encounter. Human beings encounter. Where do I go from here, you know?
I know your story a little bit. Is this a little of art imitates life?
No, but by the time she went south, she was a grown woman. And still there was a little girl in her, as there is the little girl in all of us, all women. She is still there. But I went south. I was sent south from California when I was 3, and I stayed there until I was 13.
I was really moved by the situation that happened to you at 7.5 years old and some of the obstacles that you overcame and how you overcame them. Can you describe those for us?
Well, I wrote in I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings about having been raped at 7.5. If your question is how does one survive, the answer is love. Always love. Only love. Not mush, not sentimentality, not indulgence, but love. It probably is that condition in the human spirit so profound that it allows us to develop courage. It may, in fact, be the adhesive which holds the stars in the firmament. As far as I know, it puts the taste into chocolate. It puts the laughter into little babies. That is love.
Dr. Angelo was so traumatized by the incident that she did not speak for 6 years. She says it was her grandmother who helped her regain what has become a truly powerful voice.
She would braid my hair and say, "Sister, Mama don't care what these people say about you must be an idiot or you must be a moron because you can't talk. Sister, Mama know when the Lord and you get ready, you're going to be a preacher. Or you're at least going to be a teacher." And I used to sit there and think, this poor ignorant woman.
And it came true.
There's a line from a 19th century spiritual which said, "When it looked like the sun wasn't gonna shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the clouds." But now you see, if God put the rainbow right into the clouds themselves, it means in the worst of times, you can see hope.
How would you tell women today how to do that, impart that to their children?
Well, live lives of such excitement. Have enough courage to live life. Let the children see you live it and love it. Life loves the liver of it.
How important is God in your life?
Oh, God, I believe there is no place that God is not. It is very important to me. I don't know if I could make it. I wouldn't even know how to start.
What advice or message would you give women today?
I would encourage every woman to live in the moment. Be present in the moment. Be kind. Start with yourself. All virtues begin at home, then spread abroad. Be kind to yourself in this moment. Then you can be kind to somebody else in this moment. That would be my first encouragement.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pirie. When you think of Las Vegas, you can't help but talk about Steve Wynn. He's one of the greatest developers in the gaming business today. He developed the Mirage, Treasure Island, and now his crowning achievement, the Bellagio. I had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Wynn today to tell us about how he makes all of his dreams come true. I know you were born in Connecticut. Your father operated an East Coast bingo empire. Now, how much of your childhood experiences really affected your career choice?
A lot. I would go to Miami Beach in the late 50s when it was really quite the place, and those were the years when the Fontainebleau Hotel was built. And at night, everybody would be at this glamorous place, the Fontainebleau, and be at the coffee shop or eating dinner. And all they would do would be talk about the fellow who owned the hotel, whose name was Ben Novak. And I saw this fellow Novak walking around the Fontainebleau, and I noticed that it was significant that he was never abused while he was in that building, to say the least, like it was good to be king,
right.
to Mel Brooks's line. It was good to be king, and I said, you know, this looks like a nice life.
What would you say is your drive in this business?
The idea of making places that give people a unique experience in life has always been fascinating to me, and the confidence that if you could build such a place, they would come if you built it, have been the things that have kept me going.
You're constantly reinventing not only yourself, but the hotels and resorts. How do you explain the creative process that you go through?
You come to it by understanding the creative process, and that process is exactly that, a process. You get with the right people, you have an overriding idea of where you'd like to go, and then you struggle and scratch. You face failure after failure. You come to dead ends all the time, and you keep plugging away at it because you like the process. You've got to love the trip. God lives in the details.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go there with him to get what you want.
Yeah.
You got to like it.
Right.
If you're after money, you'll never be a great artist. Not that good creative projects shouldn't make you wealthy or produce success. They do.
Right.
But you're not driven by the money. You're not driven by the idea of owning it. You're driven by the idea of the joy of helping to create it.
Passion of it.
It's a trip. You're a passenger on a train. You got to like going on a trip.
I think you like that trip.
I love that trip.
Yeah, it shows.
I love that trip.
Obviously.
Steve Wynn's journey started at the downtown Golden Nugget, but all roads led to the Las Vegas Strip. He came, he conquered, and now he enriches with $300 million of art in his newest showplace.
Well, I want to talk about the Bellagio's art gallery, this fabulous collection you have.
It's a big mistake to think that you have to be some rich, effete snob to like art. That as a matter of fact, the average American, the average person, has as much or more capacity as is necessary to appreciate fine art. They may not have the money to go buy one, but they have the enthusiasm and the aesthetic sensitivity to go see one. Well, I thought that would be a great compliment to my guests.
Captain of the Britannia.
In a tragic irony, this man of great vision is losing his eyesight due to a degenerative disease.
You have accomplished many things in your life. And also with something that people would call a handicap, a personal handicap, with the retinitis pigmentation. How do you overcome that?
They call it RP for short, and I remember when the doctor told me when I was 29 years old that I had this condition. He said, would you like to have the name of someone to talk to? And I said, I laughed, I said, oh, a shrink, huh, Doc? I said, listen, no, I don't need to see a shrink, I'll tell you what. I'm like Attila the Hun. I'll just get competitive. Don't worry about me. Trust me, Doc, I'm just gonna handle this. And that'll be something that'll keep me sustained, how well I can handle it. The challenge of reducing a handicap to an inconvenience as opposed to a tragedy. You faced with it, you decide whether you're a victim or not. Either it's an overwhelming tragedy in your life, oh my God, why me? Or you say, I'm gonna just push this down. I'm gonna live my life every day that I can until I'm gone.
If you think you've seen it all, well, Jerry has even more to show you in Ringmaster, the major holiday film that will be his big screen debut.
No, not the face, not before the show!
I slept with my stepdaddy fighting with my traitor girlfriends. Save it for the show, okay?
I'm Pirie Ruther. Now come with me backstage as Jerry takes us behind the scenes for a look at the making of Ringmaster, the movie that reveals once and for all why Jerry is truly the king of the ring.
Are you ever gonna do a show on people who have crushes on their farm animals?
Why don't you call one of our producers? We have that 1-800 number.
Her name's Begonia, and I'm glad to tell you she's one hell of a goat. Hey, Jerry, you get married on the show?
How far people will go in their lives and on national television, well, it's really up to them. And if they have the guts, they just might be outrageous enough to be Jerry's guest. Consider Connie and Angel, two of the fictitious Jerry Show guests we meet in Ringmaster. There's nothing wrong with a little healthy rivalry, even between mother and daughter. But it's what they choose to fight over that makes them Jerry material.
Hey, welcome. We got a great show today. It is. I slept with my stepdaddy.
Next, we'll go behind the cameras of Ringmaster to watch Jerry and his fellow actors bring this outrageous story of stories to life. Don't go away.